We're doing braised short ribs, garlic mashed potatoes, lemon garlic green beans, and creme brulee. So everybody ready for creme brulee? Okay, for creme brulee, you will need 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 6 egg yolks, so you want to separate your eggs, 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 kettle of hot water, and 1/4 cup of sugar for your creme brulee. But the 1/4 cup of sugar you're going to use to make your creme brulee, and then you're going to, excuse me, 1/3 cup of sugar or 1/4, whichever you like it sweeter, you can use the 1/3. But the other sugar measurement you're going to use as your brulee sugar crust. So is everybody in the oven? Yep. Nope.
Yeah, we in.
No, okay. Everybody else, go ahead and get your spare ribs and we'll get those, get ready. We're gonna take our spare ribs and some salt and pepper, real basic, because a lot of your flavor is gonna actually come from the fat that's rendered. It's gonna come from our pancetta, and if you don't use pancetta, you can also use bacon. We're gonna take our cracked black pepper, and when you put your seasoning on, you wanna be sure you pat it in there. You're gonna rinse your meat off, wipe it off so it's dry, and pat it into your meat. You don't lose the spices. All 6 sides there.
You ever made short ribs?
Never. You? Hey Dave, how are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing great.
We're gonna shake off that excess flour. Set those aside. We are also pulling out a Dutch oven. Dutch oven, you can use a roaster or a pan that you can oil. Okay, once you get that dredged, you want to take your pancetta. You're gonna have a medium onion, diced 3 carrots, minced, shallot, 2 shallots, and 6 pieces of pancetta. If you don't have pancetta, you can also use bacon. The only difference is bacon is going to have a little smokier taste, which I kind of prefer. So what I did is I took some pancetta and I mixed it with bacon as well. And we're going to get 2 sprigs of thyme, 2 sprigs of rosemary.
Those are pancetta cut up, I guess.
Yeah. And if you don't have pancetta, you can use bacon. That works as well. So we're gonna take our, I'm taking a roaster now, but I used a, I'm gonna put that on really high heat. Gonna add our pancetta into the pan, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna cook that down until all the fat has rendered. We want all the fat to render in our pan, so you're gonna go pretty high. Medium high on the high side though.
Are we putting any oil in the pot, or just putting the pancetta and stuff?
You want the fat to render down. If your fat is already rendered down, you want to add a tablespoon or 2 into your pan of olive oil. You want to put with the drippings, and then you want to add in your onions, your carrots, and shallots. We're going to add in our thyme and rosemary later. Again, we're going to leave them on the spread. Do not take them off. Of our red wine. 1 cup and pour yourself a cup, but if you want a good sauce, don't listen to Chris.
All of everyone, say aye.
You also want to be sure to have your beef stock, your beef broth, whichever you prefer. Happy New Year, Norma.
Drew, are we getting the wine and the stock at the same time?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why you're going to put your wine in to let that cook down for a few minutes You don't want to actually taste the bitterness of the wine. You want that to cook down and just give you the effervescence of the fruit, the blackberry, whichever is in your wine.
So which one goes first, Trina? The wine or the stock?
Your wine. Once you do your vegetables for 2 minutes, then you're going to add in 2 cups of wine. Then we're going to let that cook down for another 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right?
A little, yeah. One, a little twice.
Two cups of wine.
Dang, she didn't get my whole one, my whole box. Whole box. Turn it up just a little bit.
2 cups of wine. Turn the heat down to medium. We're going to let that cook down for a couple minutes. 2 cups of wine for the pot and 2 cups of wine for us. But I can't find your cup, Greg, so your glass. So it's 1 cup for me. We're going to play a form of Family Feud. So the team with the most points at the end wins, and you only get a point if you get one of the answers. But how we're going to do it is you're going to type your answer into the chat. Craig will take note of your answers, and I'll go through everything and show you the points later. But the team that wins gets a $25 Amazon gift card.
So it should be a message to you and not to everyone?
Correct. All right, here we go. Top 3 answers on the board. I'll turn the music down so you can hear me. Name a reason why you might dread going to a New Year's Eve party at a club. Answers in? Let's see. Sharif and Tish said COVID. That's a good answer. Karen and Chancellor said too shy. Sheree and Charles said, you're sweaty. Drunk people. So we'll get them drunk people. But they already gave one, yeah. So Jasmine and Gio said COVID. Sharif and Tisha, Lord, I love them. Charles and Sheree said it. Norma said, I love this one, girl. My outfit didn't come in on time.
Why is that a typical Norma comment? Listen.
Too crowded, costs too much, and I don't drink. So Dave and Kirsten earned a point with 18 points they got for don't drink. All right, second question, 1 answer only. Tish and Sharif, I love you guys.
One.
For real, the COVID answer was excellent, but if you live in Texas, baby, ain't nobody thinking about COVID down here for some reason.
Heard about that.
Name a specific night of the year that you hope to be kissed. I'm going to plate our food and then we will torch the creme brulee. Okay, you're going to take your creme brulees who have chilled for at least a minimum of 2 hours. Minimum 2 hours. We're going to take a little sugar. Again, you can use sweetener substitute if you're on keto. And just cap the top of it with probably a teaspoon of sugar, maybe, for each. If you're doing a 4-ounce ramekin like I have. You can use, like I said, a barbecue lighter, but I have a torch. And you're just gonna evenly torch the top of the sugar until it melts and caramelizes and makes a crust. Okay. Starts liquefying on top. I just kind of move it around to evenly distribute it so it doesn't get too brown in certain areas. There we go. A nice caramelized golden brown on top there. A nice crust over the whole thing. One of them is kind of hardened already. You should be able to tap it when it's done, once it sets. I'm gonna take a couple of berries and a sprig of mint, fresh mint out of my garden. Gonna let this one sit for a second. when I garnish things, I always garnish things with something that's edible. You don't want to ever garnish anything with something you can't eat, because why use a garnish if you can't eat it, right? I've also in the past used a medley of berries. One time I did a banana foster, and I just flambéed some bananas. That was really, really good. Plated our food. Remember, I did a whole batch of the short ribs earlier. And here's our short ribs with our garlic, lemon, green beans. And I actually capped it with I took some leeks and I flash fried them really quick. Because again, why have something on your plate, a garnish that you can't eat? So the leeks kind of complement it. But it makes like a nice gravy while it's cooking, so that broth, the stock, and the red wine with the vegetables cook down really, really nice. And this is what you will end up with. And let me show you with the fork. They are very, very tender. The fork goes right in and out. They're really tender. So when you're checking on your short ribs, your fork should be it's breaking off. And our creme brulee. That was easy, right?
Look at my creme brulee. It's cute.
Oh, yay! It is cute. Yay.
Sharif is standing way over there because I had the torch.
Way away.
21 to health, wealth, prosperity, love, and peace. Thank you.
Normalcy.
Have a wonderful new year. Love you guys.
Thanks, Trey.